Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
If you're planning to drive along Nicholasville Road this morning, we're tracking a traffic alert where a hydrant has flooded out a nearby street.
A Laurel County grandma says she's not guilty in the death of her 6-month-old granddaughter.
And why this bizarre beehive has neighbors concerned about killer bees. Well, those stories and more and breaking news as it happens. Coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hey, good morning to you. Welcome in. It's your Thursday, maybe a day between the showers. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Expect another cold and dreary day in central Kentucky.
And we're tracking some heavy rain that is making its way to the bluegrass. No doubt about that. It looks like for tomorrow and into Saturday. Here's WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we got a few showers out there this morning over toward the west and southwest, and those are headed our way. Look, this is very light rain there on Defender, but it's very spread out too. So I believe as we go throughout the day, you'll start to see that on the increase. 31 now in Frankfort. We're at 32 in Lexington, Richmond, Danville. And you look toward Mount Sterling and also my friends in Winchester and Paris holding on to around freezing. Today's forecast, we're not going to rise that much. We got the clouds overhead, got the winds in the wrong direction that we don't want them to come from, and also the rain out there. So it's not going to allow us really to warm up at all. We'll go over the latest forecast for you going off into your Friday and Saturday. That's when it really picks up, and I'll show you that coming up.
Okay, see you shortly. Thank you.
We're tracking a traffic alert here in Lexington as you head out the door this morning.
Jesselyn Drive, that's near Nicholasville Road, was flooded overnight by a broken fire hydrant. It came after a woman crashed her SUV into a parked pickup truck that then rolled into the hydrant. The SUV flipped over in the crash, and the woman was taken to UK Hospital with some minor injuries. Crews spent hours cleaning up the wreck. At last check, the roads again are back open, but again, still very slick this morning. Heads up on that. New this morning, a Woodford County inmate is back in custody after she escaped over the summer. 28-year-old Felicia Spinnenberg was being treated at UK Hospital while in custody back in July. Police say she took a large amount of pills. Spinnenberg then ran out of the hospital after being excused to a bathroom break during treatment. She was originally charged with theft and violating her probation, and of course now she is facing escape charges.
Well, more than a week after being shot by Lexington police, it appears a man's condition has taken a turn for the worse. And this comes even after he was released from the hospital. Joseph Kilburn, now listed in critical condition at UK Hospital. He returned there just 2 days after being released, and now Lexington police have released more details about the officers involved in the shooting. Police say Kilburn tried to run them down with a truck. WKYT's Jordan Valines has the story.
On Monday, Joseph Kilburn was released from UK Hospital after being treated for more than a week for injuries suffered after he was shot in the face by a Lexington police officer. And on Wednesday, his condition took a turn for the worse. He returned here to UK Hospital, where at last check, he was in critical condition. Kilburn's mother brought him to the hospital Wednesday after she says he began bleeding profusely from his gunshot wound. Last month, Officer Wesley Farley and Officer Christopher Mason were placed on administrative assignment after shooting Kilburn, who police say tried to run them over with a truck. Police tell us they were investigating a drug deal, possibly involving Kilburn at the time. Documents obtained from Lexington police in an open records request show that Officer Mason has been placed on administrative assignment before. In May 2011, Mason was transferred from the Bureau of Patrol to Bureau of Administration because of an altercation between himself and another officer while working a traffic stop. When the other officer disapproved of the way Mason conducted the stop, the two began to argue, which then escalated into a minor physical altercation. In January of this year, Mason was transferred back to the Bureau of Patrol, and at this time, it's simply unknown how long Mason or Farley will remain on administrative assignment in connection with last month's shooting incident. Kilburn's mother declined our request for an on-camera interview, saying that this is simply too emotional of a time. In Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
And Joseph Kilburn is charged with 2 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment as well as fleeing or evading police.
A Laurel County woman accused of causing the crash that killed her infant granddaughter says she is not guilty. Melissa Warstill was arraigned on murder, DUI, and drug charges. On Monday night, police say she was on drugs when her car hit a telephone pole on Parker Road in Laurel County. Investigators say her 6-month-old granddaughter, Ivy, was not properly restrained and died. 911 dispatchers were flooded with calls after the crash.
Okay, can you tell if anybody's hurt?
Is anybody hurt? Yeah.
All right, we've got them just down past the hospital.
Yeah.
All right, we've got them on the way.
Police say Warstill had custody of her granddaughter. She is being held on a $250,000 cash-only bond.
Well, this morning, police need your help finding a man they say crashed his car into a building and ran off. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says a Chevy Lumina, whoever was driving it, ran off Litton Town Road Tuesday night. The car eventually hit an outbuilding. No one was injured. The owner of the outbuilding said the driver claimed he'd already called 911 and was going to use a neighbor's phone to get a ride. But deputies say the driver ran off and did not return to the scene.
A giant beehive in a tree had some people in Robertson County buzzing. Some worried that the beehive looked similar to those made by African killer bees. But an entomologist from the University of Kentucky said that's not the case. African bees don't come this far north. Still, people living in the area wanted to get rid of the hive, which is near a home owned by Kentontown Christian Church.
I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I several people that's lived around here forever, they've just, you know, it's rare. You just don't see this every day.
Experts think most of the bees that were in the hive have moved on. The man who lives in the home told the Ledger Independent that researchers from UK were coming to take the hive because the bees couldn't survive the winter. But attention getter, right?
Yeah. It was a slam dunk in the fight against cancer. The Transylvania University women's basketball team hosted Mount St. Joseph in what was called Hoops for a Cause. Mount
St. Joseph player Lauren Hill has received national attention for her fight against a rare form of a cancer. Last night's game honored her and a former transy athlete also battling cancer. Our Garrett Weimer has the story.
I appreciate what y'all are doing. From the T-shirts to the halftime entertainment, to the game itself. There was something special about this game.
I think when you see someone who's in the most vibrant part of their life, you know, 18 to 22-year-olds, you don't think about death. And so to see 2 young ladies step up and show the courage and the strength that both of them have, it's a tremendous testimony to who they are and their character, and something that we all should stand behind and support.
So they did, with Hoops for a Cause, raising money to support 2 young women battling cancer. Torcy Hogley, a former transy tennis player who graduated in May, and Lauren Hill, a player from Mount St. Joseph. Hill traveled with her teammates and cheered them on from the bench. Those involved with Hoops for a Cause say it's about more than just the basketball game. They say it's about making a difference out here once you leave the arena.
At the end of the day, we have the chance to use basketball to help, grow these young women, in a lot of different ways.
In this game, the biggest way probably didn't even happen on the court.
This is a game, we're all really fortunate to show up and be able to do that, but there are bigger pieces to the world than that.
Hill may not have played, but her fight shows that life is about more than that. It's about making every second count. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Well, proceeds from the game will go to the Cure Starts Now Foundation and the Torcy Lymphoma Research Fund.
A trip to New York City ended on a bad note for the Dunbar High School Marching Band. The band performed in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but since then the band booster president says dozens of band members have been dealing with strep throat or flu-like symptoms. The Fayette County Health Department sent letters to Dunbar High School parents asking them to keep sick students home. On Tuesday, health experts announced the first confirmed flu case of the year in Lexington.
Eastern Kentucky University wants to bring more of the best and brightest students to campus. EKU says they're revamping their model for merit-based scholarships. The university will now give equal weight to ACT and SAT scores and high school GPA when considering who receives scholarships. EKU has also committed an extra $1.7 million to its scholarship budget for next year. EKU leaders say that's enough money for at least 100 additional merit-based scholarships.